What's the most disappointing part of last Thursday for you?
I think the main thing was just the mentality wasn't there for us offensively, and that's something that's non-negotiable that we got to have every time we play. So that's the most disappointing thing, but also there's a solution there, and that's what we're working on right now.
You guys wanted the run game to be part of still your identity. What do you think the issues were there?
It starts with me. I don't think the plan was good enough to establish the run and be efficient in the run game, and that's completely my responsibility and on me to do a better job with that. But at the end of the day, that's who we are. We got to be able to run the football efficiently, no matter what we're seeing, what we're getting. We got to do it. That's what makes the offense go, and that starts with me.
How much-
Three guys get a carry on the first drive, and then you had two guys kind of have each pretty equal carries. Is that still the plan, or when you're looking at it, is a guy like Sire maybe need to start getting more of the carries here, or?
I think, yeah, that will evolve based on obviously production, what we're seeing in the game at practice. I think a big part of that too is getting into game shape. I think Cy has had a phenomenal couple days right now where he is getting that feel back. A lot of that's the confidence from a couple of those good plays that we had last game. So I think that's going to evolve based on production and then based on health and being in shape.
Spencer said Hall Schmidt's going to be ready to go this week. How much, will his presence help that offensive line?
I think it just adds competition. And when you feel that competition, that's going to push the next guy to get better and improve. So that's what you want in every position group. And I think that's what we got right now with Hall being back, practicing, and doing what he's doing. It's going to add competition at the right tackle spot to make both guys better.
What did you think of the O-line overall?
I think they fell into every position group of the offense where there wasn't a mentality piece. There wasn't the finish to the standard that we expect in this program. And O-line, tight ends, running back, everybody was involved in that.
Kind of a rhetorical question, Nate, but when you played here, like that's kind of always what's fueled chip on your shoulder, blue collar, like how much does that have to be a part of the ingredient for you guys to do what you're capable of doing?
Yeah, I mean that's the key ingredient. That's who we are, and that's not going to change. Now, obviously, it's my responsibility to make sure that happens, and I didn't do that, but we're getting it fixed.
Now that you've seen the game film, what's the biggest emphasis of improvement for this week?
Efficiency on first down. Got to be able to run the football. Have to.
I know it's a situation there, but you guys didn't attempt a ton of downfield passes again in this game. You only 2 completions of over 20 yards, and I don't know what you were looking for, but was that Spencer said a lot of the receivers weren't getting open at times. What did you see from the downfield passing?
Well, a lot of the downfield passes are set up by being able to run the football. So if you can't run the football, then those aren't going to be explosive and efficient for you. I do feel like we were trying to give those guys a chance, but at the end of the day, it starts by establishing the run to give those shot plays an opportunity to be successful. If you can't do that, then you're not going to have success.
What about Chris Marshall, Nate? Effective early, was it something they were doing to take him out of the game? What was the assessment there?
No, I don't think there was something they were doing to take him out of the game. I do think he made a few plays like we expected. He had the touchdown, which was good to see. But just like everybody else on the offense, it's being consistent play in and play out. Right? You got to be that difference maker every play, no matter if you're Chris or if you're the left guard or if you're Matt Lauder. Right? It's got to be consistent every play.
I didn't see it. The times we were at practice, I didn't see a lot of fumbles. Was fumbles at all an issue during games? Or?
No, but that's first game, right? That's something that we talked about as a team. One of the kind of the key factors in every first game, and turnovers is one of them. But that's on my shoulders. We did not take care of the football, and so that's a lack of intensity and urgency when we're repping it, when we're practicing it. So that's something that is changing.
How much did Ben Ford embrace his opportunity?
I mean, every bit of it. Every bit of it. He did a great job. And I think, to your point, he's a good example of what we need the full group to be every play. That blue-collar mentality, that finish, that effort. Ben did a great job with it.
How long? I mean, maybe it's a question better for him. But how long did he wait for that moment? He had as many catches in 3 hours as he did in his 4 years prior at Boise State.
Yeah, I think to your point, I mean, he waited a long time, but he took advantage of his opportunity. And he was ready for it because of how he prepared, how he's been practicing, the effort he puts in every day. So great example, great example.
4 straight drives in the second half where you guys didn't get it on fourth down. Obviously, as you go later in the game, you have to go for those. But what did you see on those? What do you guys have to do different on the fourth down attempts?
Yeah, a big part of that's just the execution piece, the detail of the play. Some of that is play calls and tendencies and the looks that we got, which is, again, on me. But at the end of the day, it's the details within the play as far as maybe it's route depth, maybe it's accuracy, maybe it's protection piece. There's a lot of details that we missed on a lot of those fourth downs.
Is it at all, I mean, silver lining it all better than maybe it looked, just with, you got across the 58 times and maybe take out, the fumbles and stuff. I mean, some of the key plays, I mean, were you at all was it close to being a lot different, or?
Yeah, I mean, that's the way football works. There's those key moments in the game that really tell you the big difference, right? For us, it was getting in the red zone but turning the ball over. Those are critical moments that we have to be able to overcome, though, because that's going to happen again. That's going to happen in football. You got to be able to respond. But I think, again, the main message that needs to happen is the mentality, and then that's going to transfer over to the run game. You have to be able to run the football, be efficient on mixed downs and first down. Have to.
Nate, you've seen, played, coached a lot of football. Why do you think the mentality wasn't there? You've probably experienced before when it wasn't there. Did this relate at all to that?
That's a great question. I think, I think there's a lot of factors that can play into that, to be honest with you. It'd be hard to pinpoint one, but, when you're not playing free or playing without fear, you get tense. When you get tense, that tends to happen. So that's something that we're all thinking about. How do we cut it loose, play free, and play without any fear or hesitation? Because when we're doing that, obviously good things happen.
When it comes to Maddox, want to, desire, obviously hard to question any of that with him, but how do you feel like he played against South Florida?
Man, the toughness he showed, his ability to extend plays with his feet was phenomenal. I think there was some uncharacteristic missed throws that he would tell you straight up right now that he normally makes. But again, I think that's fixable. There's a solution to that we're in the process of right now. And he's the type of guy that's gonna get it fixed. That's who he is. But his toughness is, you can't question that. And then you saw his ability to extend plays, which is great. That adds a dynamic.
Just 12 play action pass attempts in that game, way down from what we saw last year where Maddox was really good. Is that something that you want to see a little bit more of going forwards because he does so well there, or is part of the game plan?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, we have to do more of that. But the play action comes off the run. So if you can't run the ball, then the play action is not as great, right? And again, that starts with me and our ability to run the football. But it has to be higher, to your point, because that's who we are offensively.
How excited are you for another crack at this on Friday, Nate?
Can't wait. Can't wait. On the blue, there's no better place in the world.
What are you seeing from their defense?
Coach Sanders does a phenomenal job. He's really experienced as a defensive coordinator at every level. I think they do a great job causing confusion with what they do in their schematics, with their fronts, with their movements. They have some experience mixed in with good talent that they brought in. So it's all about us playing to our standard, playing fast. But they do a great job. That's a strong tradition in that program.
You mentioned Sire kind of working his way back into game shape and stuff. I mean, how do you think he looked?
Oh, you guys saw it too. There was times where he was breaking tackles, he was bursting, he looked great. He looked great. And then today out at practice, it just keeps building. He's taking that step each day. I think he's feeling it. So I'm excited to see him this week.
How different are he and Malik as runners, and how part of it is that seeing kind of what guy, maybe in practice you don't see some things that you see in a game with some, how do you kind of weigh are you looking at different packages or plays that work better for a certain guy, or?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to play to their strengths. Sai, obviously you guys see his strengths. It's his body type, it's his physicality. That's one of his main strengths. So more importantly than anybody else, has got to play to that. I got to put him in a position to use their superpowers. And for Sai, that's his physicality. That's his toughness, his size.
All right, thanks, Nate.
Thank you, guys.